How can the president be silent in this critical time? A time where he's supposed to call Wike and his boys to order. He's just silent, behaving as if nothing is happening. And something is actually happening. 27 pro-Wike lawmakers, no arrests for Fubara matter for Rivers State. Every day they cook up stories to frustrate Fubara for the state. Make these people allow Fubara rule the government, they no agree. Now they are coming out to let Nigerians know that it was Governor Fubara that masterminded the burning down of the legislative quarters. Remember that when the crisis was fresh, they were trying to impeach Governor Fubara then. The legislative quarters was burnt down to ashes. Now the 27 pro-Wike lawmakers are coming out to claim that it was Governor Fubara that masterminded the event, the incident that took place.
The 68th legislative day. Other members, I know that you are fully refreshed after this about over the weekend. Honorable Justin Emeji is looking very fresh as ever. And I say, honorable members, we thank God that we're here again today. So, honorable members, any petition, okay. In the absence of any petition, statements by the leader.
Mr. Speaker, I want to draw your attention that today, the 386th day, over a year, that the Rivers State House of Assembly, Hallowed Chamber, was burnt down by the arsonists. Mr. Speaker, the arsonists are moving freely in Port Harcourt. Everywhere they are moving freely. Though some of them were arrested and taken to court, but none up to date has been convicted. Mr. Speaker, members of the Rivers State Assembly, do not lose hope. Have faith, because our faith is in the rule of law, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, and God bless you.
To take us back to the 30th of October last year. 29th. I am more in tune with October 30th because, as you know, I was ill and on my sick bed. And then when I opened my eyes in the morning of 30th of October, usually wherever I am, I try to tune into Nigerian news. And then there it was looking at me on channels. Rivers State House of Assembly was on fire. Initially, I thought it would be an electrical malfunction, but the same channel's TV would later come up to make me realize that that fire was caused by arsonists. And then it came to my mind that that was an attack on democracy. Mr. Speaker, why it occurred to me in that way is because the legislature is what differentiates democratic rule from military rule. And so if the legislature is attacked, then there was an attack on democracy itself. Glory be to God. I would also later be made to realize that suspected arsonists have been arrested and have been charged to court, even though none, as the leader has said, has been convicted. But we have hope, my dear colleagues. I have hope. Let us all have hope in the rule of law, that the law will really and actually take care of those arsonists as a deterrent to anyone who would wake up one morning to attack democracy. Let us not forget that an attack on the legislature is actually not an attack on us, but an attack on democracy. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, today is a very sad day in Rivers State. It's not only for members of Rivers State House of Assembly, it's for the entire state and the entire lovers of democracy. You can see since October 29 till today, Rivers State is going down. But the demolition of the burning of Rivers State House of Assembly, it's not for us, it's for Rivers people. You can see no good thing has happened after 29th of October in this state. It's every day one problem or the other. I'm standing here when I entered the first that was inaugurated in assembly. The first thing I saw when I turned was around Greece, the people that were with my dad in MPN. Today, the people that are coming will never see something again because all those things have gone down. And it's a shame to Rivers people. What has happened in House of Assembly is not for us here, but I know we have hope. We have hope because this assembly will be vindicated when the time comes. But I know the governor will not go free for burning that chamber. He will never go free. And those people that are moving around, even though they are not arrested, God has arrested them because they are suffering. They are going to pass through what they have done. So, Mr. Speaker, I thank God and I want to support the leader for what he has done today. Thank you and God bless you.
Mr. Speaker, today, I rise after listening to the statement of the leader. I realize that in a state where we have a governor that a war was declared against democracy. This is a governor that had, and without setting up a panel of inquiry. This is that same governor that went to the Rivers State House of Assembly complex. What he did was to take away our coat of arms to the government house. What will I say? Will I not say that he's the one that encouraged the people that burned down the Rivers State House of Assembly? Will I not say that he's the one that sent the people to go and burn down the Rivers State House of Assembly? It's a shame and a disgrace to the person of Mr. Governor. Distinguished colleague, let it be on record that the 29th day of October is the day that Mr. Governor have declared that there is no democracy in Rivers State. But the 10th Assembly is still sitting. So we know that there is democracy in Rivers State. Is the Indian mean of Rivers State, but by the grace of God, the rule of law will take its course. And I believe that those responsible will pay for it in due time, including him, because one day he will leave that office and he will account for what he has done. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The House of Assembly was burned down by some miscreants in Rivers State. Well, I don't have much to say. My contribution this morning is that we are asking for justice. Those that are responsible for the burning of Rivers State House of Assembly that are moving on the streets, we are calling for justice for them. That's my solution this morning.
Ground, I represent Asare Constituency 1. Speaker, it is sad to recall what happened last year, specifically on the 29th October and on the 13th of December. The Speaker, much things has been said about that. It is obvious that the executive tried to murder democracy by force, burning down the River State House of Assembly on the 29th of October 2023. As if that wasn't enough, by the governor of River State, Fubara, went himself with his gang, supervised the bringing down of the only assembly we have in the state. And he gave a nod to it. Mr. Speaker, it is sad to even say it. Because trying to bring down the legislative arm of government is to murder the democracy in our state. Mr. Speaker, as if that is not enough, as we speak, God has brought us to defend democracy. But the governor even said, no, he will not recognize. That is not the problem. But we live in a country that constitution will give statements one day. Mr. Speaker, what do I need to say again? There are several serious attempts to make sure we don't exist. But to the glory of God, we have a very good speaker that is leading us. To the glory of God, we have other 26 members are firm in defending democracy. What we do today will speak for us tomorrow. And tomorrow will always know us. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Okana State Constituency. Mr. Speaker, this morning I rise in very sober reflection on the beautiful presentation made by the leader of this House. Mr. Speaker, the leader simply put before this House very important days that will remain as very solemn and very genuine in the history of the House of Assembly in this state. Mr. Speaker, the leader talked about 29th of November 2023 and in October, 29th October 2023, and in this submission, that day is the date when the Hallowed Chamber of the River State House of Assembly was burnt down. That was the day the Hallowed Chamber of this House was desecrated by miscreants. That is a direct affront on the legislature, and that is known globally. Mr. Speaker, as for being on that particular day, I want this House to note that when the legislature is attacked in this form, for no reason, it means that the masterminds, those who actually participated in this, what I would call very, very, very capital offense as known to law, directly came to say to the legislature should no more have its place in this state. And so this House must take legislative notice on this date. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, he talked about 13th of December 2024, that the same House of Assembly was demolished for no just reason. Mr. Speaker, it is on record that important documents of this House, some of it, till tomorrow, they can't give account for them. Our symbol, the coat of arms, very important symbol in the legislature, they took away. Unfortunately, sadly, regrettably, some of these miscreants are still walking around with security personnel. Some of them are working on the streets. And like he said, we believe very strongly and we are confident that injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. The rule of law is our constitution. And under their leadership, that is what you have demonstrated all the way. You have shown to the world, as Speaker of the 10th Assembly, that non-violent is a way of life for the courageous people. And I'm simply saying that this house is a courageous house. And I commend members this morning for being courageous by standing for what is just, what is equitable, and what is right before God and men. And so, Mr. Speaker, I have very important motion I want to move. And I want to move by saying that this House should resolve that these two important dates, these two important remarkable dates, should be set aside by this House on yearly basis to remember, the emphasis are mine, a day when the legislature was attacked and desecrated for no just reason. I also emphasize that is my humble submission, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Matters of public interest. The leader started by reminding this House that today marks the 386th day since the burning of the Rivers State House of Assembly, Hallowed Chamber. And that today also marks the 341st day since the demolition of the Rivers State House of Assembly, Hallowed Chamber. So, 386 days since after burning, 341 days since the demolition by the governor of Rivers State, Siminalayi Fubara. It's a sad day for our democracy. That is 29th of October 2023 is a sad day for our nascent democracy. It's a day that the legislature in Rivers State, the world over, will not forget in a hurry. The 29th of October 2023 is a day that lovers of democracy, those who believe in the rule of law, will not forget. On this very day, the 29th day of October 2023, the governor of Rivers State, Siminalayi Fubara, masterminded the burning of the Rivers State Hallowed Chamber. Yes? It was the governor who masterminded it. We say so because the governor came back on the 13th of December himself with his hands in his pockets and supervised, as if he's an engineer, the demolition of the Hallowed Chamber of the Rivers State House of Assembly. Students of politics, political science students, students of government, lovers of democracy, undergraduates, postgraduates the world over, will not forget these dates, 29th of October and the 13th of December, when the governor of Rivers State masterminded the burning of the Assembly, Hallowed Chamber, and demolished it respectively. So, members have made their remarks. Unfortunately, those who are suspects in the burning are moving freely. Some of them are being guarded by security agencies, moving around, celebrating their actions, beating their chests, and saying that law enforcement cannot do anything to them. They are boasting that the law will not catch up with them. Honorable members, I want to assure you that someday, somehow, the law will take its course. We don't know the dates, we don't know how, but we believe that our democracy has a way that the rule of law will catch up with these criminal elements who were sponsored by the government of Rivers State. All those who partook in these actions against the legislature will still have a date with the law. Honorable members, you have spoken well. Members have made their remarks, and in particular, the Deputy Speaker had moved a motion calling that we bring out this date, this 29th of October, and declare that particular day a day to remember, a solemn day in the history of this country, to remember the attack on our democracy or the attack on the legislature, so that every 29th of October in Rivers State, Rivers people will remember this day, mark this day as one day that we will use to remind ourselves that we must fight and defend our democracy. Actions that took place, those things that took place on the 29th of October in an unprovoked manner, when these individuals came and burnt down the hallowed chamber of Rivers State, unprovoked. To this day, we have not come out of it. One of the best hallowed chambers in the entire Rivers State. Sorry, in the entire country. I beg your pardon. But look at where we are today. We don't have that masterpiece anymore. Taxpayers' funds have been that were used in building the hallowed chamber has been lost to that inferno. And they are celebrating their actions shamefully. Shamelessly, they are celebrating their actions. People who should bow their heads in shame are celebrating their actions of burning down public infrastructure, the hallowed chamber of the Rivers House of Assembly, on the 29th in an unprovoked manner. They are going to church, doing thanksgiving and calling on God, thanking God for their deceitful, shameless, evil actions against Rivers people, against our laws, against our constitution, including people who we regard as statesmen. We used to regard as statesmen. They say they are going for Thanksgiving. They are doing liberation. They are celebrating Liberation Day after burning down the hallowed chamber of Rivers State on the 29th. They shamelessly celebrate their actions. It's unfortunate, but the Rivers State House of Assembly will not forget 29th of October. So the Deputy Speaker has moved. We will call for a seconder. The Deputy Speaker has moved that we declare the 29th of October a day to mourn the height of executive rascality in our country. A day to mourn how the legislature was attacked. A day to mourn how we have incessant attacks on our democracy. So that when we continue to put these actions out to the people of Rivers State, out to people of this country, it will act as a deterrent to others who may want to do it in the future. If nothing happens to those who attacked the Rivers legislature on the 29th of October, it will be a shame to this country. It will be an encouragement to those who want to do it again. It means that others will continue to burn down the legislature when they fear that resolutions of the House will not favor them. So 29th of October, every year in Rivers State, in the Rivers House of Assembly, will be a day for sober reflection. It should be a solemn day to remember. So the Deputy Speaker has moved. Is there any seconder to this motion? Those for 23, against nil, abstention nil. Honorable members, by this voting, the 29th of October of every year will be a day that will be set aside for us to remember the attacks on the legislature of Rivers State and our democracy in this country. This day is closely linked to the 31st of October, when the governor also sponsored thugs from Government House who processed from Government House of Rivers State to attack the residence of the Speaker. That was on the 31st of October. And again, the 13th of December, when the governor of Rivers State led an army of destroyers, demolition men, who went to the House of Assembly complex, and the governor personally supervised the unlawful, unconstitutional demolition of the Rivers House of Assembly complex, wherein the governor removed our belongings, very important artifacts from our archives, and took to Government House. We see some of them on TV, and the governor also ensured that they demolished everything and destroyed everything inside our hallowed chamber, including the offices of the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker inside the hallowed chamber. To this day, the governor took away our belongings and has not returned them. Others were destroyed. The governor is still in possession of our personal effects, which he took to Government House. As we speak, all those that fought against the legislature are moving around freely. Some of them are being guarded by law enforcement agencies. Some were arrested. Some of the matters are in court, but nobody has been convicted. So this House has decided that the 29th of October will be a day to remember all these nefarious actions against our democracy and against our nascent democracy. We are going to be doing this every year as a reminder of executive rascality and a trend that is condemnable and that we must stop. We believe that when we set aside this day, people can speak and draw the attention of the world so that we will no longer have individuals like Siminalayi Fubara sitting as governors in any part of this country or any part of the world, perpetrating the evil against this arm of government. So, honorable members, I want to commend you, because if we don't take these steps, others will follow and continue to do what Siminalayi Fubara did. And we must do everything within our powers as legislators who were elected to safeguard our democracy. We need to safeguard our democracy by ensuring that this kind of thing does not happen again. It was only in the days of Idi Amin of Uganda that we saw these kind of things happen. No one would have believed that in this 21st century we will have a sitting governor who swore to abide by their constitution, acting in this manner as if there is no law, as if there is no constitution, as if no one can hold him to account. The 10th Rivers House of Assembly will hold all of them to account. All members, the comments from members who spoke, it looks like it's the opinion of this House that this committee has done well so far. The House Committee on Works on the 25th day of October 2024, we mandated the House Committee of Works to go for this oversight function. We asked this committee to go to the sites or to the areas where we have traffic issues resulting from the construction of the ring road. Recall that the ring road is a project that was approved by the Rivers State House of Assembly. Unlike all these unapproved, unbudgeted, and unappropriated projects that the current administration has chosen to embark on, this particular one was approved by the Rivers State House of Assembly. Even the funds being used, this house duly appropriated the funding of this particular project. That's why we're having this deliberation here. Rivers people have drawn the attention of members to the fact that alternative routes are needed so that the sufferings of our people can be reduced. So we ask this committee to interface with the company. They have done so. They have gone to Julius Berger. They have visited the troubled areas, and they have come with good news. The good news is that they met with the company, and the company has already commenced measures to alleviate the sufferings of road users. In fact, in their report, they said one section is being asphalted, if I read it correctly. So, and that they are going to open up that area for use very quickly. I think that's the one that is around the Rumosi axis of the ring road. So that shows that those coming from Emowa, from outside the states, passing through Choba, by the time these measures are completed, there will be a new lease of life. What this shows that this house is responsive to the yearnings of the people, the complaints of Rivers people, what they are going through. We want to commend this committee, and we are still asking this committee not to relent. The job is not over, because it is within your purview as a standing committee of this house to see to it that all that the company said they will do, they actually do them. So we trust that they will do, because they have shown capacity, is a construction giant, and we believe that they will live up to expectation like before. So we commend Julius Berger for responding to the requests of this house through the House Committee on Works. So, honorable members, since we are all in agreement that we should adopt this report and we agree with the recommendations of the committee, we are now asking them to continue to look at what they are doing. And we're also commending Julius Berger. So those in favor of what I've just said, now should say ayes. Aye. Again, say nay. The ayes have it. So Julius Berger is hereby commended. We expect them to continue what they are doing. We expect to see a new lease of life. We expect to see a new lease of life from road users. And by the grace of God, other standing committees will continue to do their work. Honorable members, just few remarks to the fact that there's a need to reconstitute our committees. Honorable members, we know we have only 27 seats now in the Rivers State House of Assembly, following the declaration of the seats of a total of 5 members, former members vacant. You know, we lost a member One resigned, even though he stopped coming to work and was absent. We declared all 4 seats vacant. So we have 5 vacant seats. So we have only 27 seats in the Rivers State House of Assembly as of today. So we need to properly reconstitute these committees and make them rejig the way we have them. In no time, we will make it known to all members how the committees are now for effective functioning. So once again, I thank you for your contributions today. Thank you very much. Leader.
Day, November 2024 at 10 a.m. I so move.
I support the motion for adjournment as moved by the leader of the House, I so serve.
The state will close. On that note, the House stands adjourned to Wednesday, the 20th day of November 2024 at 10 a.m. Mr. Speaker,
Mr. Speaker!
However, it is time to call this people to order. I don't know why the president is overlooking. He's just closing his eyes and look these people torment the governor of Rivers State. However, anything the governor do now, I don't like it when you want to test people's patience. If the governor want to react to the president's manner, his pattern of behavior toward this crisis, many people will start painting different narrative. How can the governor or the president be silent in this critical time? The time where he's supposed to call Wike and his boys to order. He's just silent, behaving as if nothing is happening. And something is actually happening. Enough of this pretense. These guys, it is time for them to rest. Let them allow this governor deliver the full dividends of democracy to the people of Rivers State. It is alarming. It is alarming, seriously. It is not funny. It is not funny at all. You understand?